immediately, I will, or send me a text message. Just give me some time. I will get back to you. I promise. That's how committed we are to making sure that everything goes well for everybody here.
And I don't think we mentioned this earlier either. So when we go live on August 1st, Angie has graciously offered to sit on Zoom all day long on August 1st and all day long on August 2nd. So you all will have a link that you can pop into a Zoom if you have any questions, if you're trying to fix your listing and you can't figure out how to do it, or if you're trying to enter a listing or trying to create a search, whatever, she will be on Zoom just waiting for people to pop in throughout the day, both Monday and Tuesday of that week. So I'll get that link to everybody.
I'll send it to you. Also, I'm trying to get my Zoom login fixed. I took it over from my predecessor from the previous lady from Elizabeth, and we're trying to get it synced up with my email. But and I do that for a couple of reasons. I want to be there to support, and it's informal. You can turn on video, not turn on video. You come in, you can chat, whatever you want to do. You don't have to be on screen. Nobody's going to know that you've been in there, but at least you'll have a live person that you can get to that can help you with something. And if I don't know the answer, if we can't fix it immediately, you'll know that it's getting escalated to the right person. So, and it also helps me fix the training going forward and get out information that we need to get out, maybe that we didn't know we needed. So I appreciate any and every bit of input that we can get.
Angie, could we on the first maybe go in and put like a partial listing just so we would be a little bit more comfortable with learning how to do it, and then just leave it in there like we can do in Navica?
Yes, you can, and you save it. The way you do that is you save it as an incomplete listing.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for that question. That was a great one. And these are all the lovely details. You can also do that, and thank you for that lead in to this. You can also do that if you're waiting for some information on disclosures, but you've got 80, 90% of what you need to get it in there. You can save it as an incomplete listing and then come back to it later. Let's look at how that works. We already know I have 70 errors on this one, right? So when I save it as incomplete, it brings me to this change screen. But what typically happens is you're coming back a day later, maybe several hours later, and you access it from the menu. I have favorites of mine up here. And you go into change listing. Excuse me. Go into my incomplete. Down here to edit. It's where you can start editing that listing information again. It's working today, Colleen. So exciting. This is not required, but if this is part of your service, and I always say my mom tried to get a elf on the shelf to terrorize my nephew about 10 years ago. She didn't know how to order things on the internet. She even sprung for a prepaid card. She didn't have to put in her personal information, and she would order this thing. She did not, however, read the dimension. She thought she was getting something this big that was going to terrorize him. And he took one look at that little 1.5-inch elf on the shelf and lobbed it down the hallway. It had no arms, no legs. So I totally get the reason that we might put this information in there, but it is not required yet. I totally understand that. It's not required. If you are so inclined or want to, if it's available, we'll put that in there. I'll just remove that. This one, this is just dumb, and I say that with love, but going to on the regional MLS requires one photo to make the listing live. So we're working on this. You can enter one photo the first time, and you would do it from here. I'm going to grab the whole, maybe name it front, and then I'm going to to move over to broker distribution. As long as it defaults to go out in syndication. So it defaults to go out to realtor.com, List Hub, which sends it to Zillow and all of the other little collaborative websites that we work with to send our listing information out. So that's what gets it out. Usually it's within 15 minutes or sooner, but I think 15 minutes is the service level that we have with them. Just saw that it auto saves as we go along. I've lost so much information in Excel spreadsheets over the years that I save sometimes before I go from tab to tab, but the system Flex does save it, auto save in increments, I think, of about 10 minutes. So if we were to go back to saving complete listing, that's my hack for photos. I put one in, I save it as incomplete. And when it takes me back to this screen, right here, I can add as many photos as I want, all at one time. As long as the flag is there, that is the primary public photo. You can turn them around. You can place it right from there. You don't have to delete it. You can just place it. That's my little hack. There's no way to fix it. It works like it's supposed to. And then you can upload documents as well. And you don't have to, you can upload one-for-one barcodes, mineral oil, gas, those things. Or you can be like me and just do one with disclosures. It's not required, but I know that it's a pain. It's an annoyance for us to have that stuff in there, especially with folks trying to make offers. Yeah. Any questions? I'm going to super use Stephanie right now. She's got a listing. Just to show you a couple of things. When you come in, you see that there's nothing in here that's active. We've got it broken down by status. This one I know is pending. I'll pull it up. This is where you will come in to add listing information, change the map location, edit the status, close it in here. The ones that I wanted to show you, and this is where you would also change the list price if you needed to, add any videos or virtual tours, schedule open houses here, broker tours. This right here is interesting to me. And I'll show you why. This is what the love note will look like when you get it, if you get one. You can actually run it through. It's already been through it one time and tested in whichever. Once you put in the listing, it'll run through that process that night. You can run this the next morning, and if you see anything that comes up in red, you can change it. Hopefully avoid if you get a love note, you can already fix it. But get out of my inbox. Anyway. So that's kind of how everything works. You can also look at the activity on that listing. So when I find these two to hit it, I'm going to go keep them in the in too. But you can see that this is the count that we had and how many times it was recommended or got into a search or saved. Share the listing from here, like we can from the search page. And I print this off if I make a change. So this is the input form. There is one that is blank that shows you which fields are required by whatever is bold or bold and asterisk. Like the office exclusive manufacturer type is not required. I print this off for myself in case there's a question. I had one time where there was a change that was made and I knew that I hadn't done it. So I could go back and say, it's not in the history, it's not here.
So this populates from what you enter when you're adding the listing, or when you change a listing, this will change. And you can save it as a PDF.
That's right. And I don't print them. I just save them in my file. That's right. I save it with my file.
Can you show them where to just get that blank input form?
Absolutely. So I told you I'm inherently lazy. So under daily functions in menu, input form, if you use this, it's about 40 pages. Got subdivisions, all the drop downs, all the bit codes, what have you. So I don't use the print possible values list. I just do it. Again, it's broken out properly. So when I hit print on that, hopefully this won't take too long. That is the blank sheet. And everything that is bold, underlined, asterisk is something that is required.
So that's somewhere you could go now to look for those required fields that are different from what's in Naviga as well.
I lived by this the first few years. It felt like it anyway, because I didn't know. We had lots of training. I started out with a franchise brokerage. We had lots of training on how to market, how to get paid, what forms we needed to use, and I was grateful. But as far as putting information in and the MLS rule, I'll work that from my association, help from the association that I from that brokerage firm. Not anything bad about them. I think that it's the nature of it, but keep myself on track and in an attempt to stay out of the logo game, I definitely lived by this for the first 6 months. So. I think, Colleen, that kind of brings me to the end of the first one I wanted. Okay. It's kind of like drinking from a fire hose, right? Wayne County, right now, both Borough Wayne, Rocky Mount, and Wilson are all using Broker Bay for their showings. And show you how easy it is on this side. We search for a listing. We want to schedule a showing. We click on Broker Bay. This in here to see that all of these that are in red are not available. So it's the days that are available, and all we have to do is that, and it will send Stephanie either an email or a text message when we book the showing. And Broker Bay is a showing service. I have showing time with Carteret County and with Triangle. I have 2 different times. But once Broker Bay comes into play, that should act as an umbrella. So we can schedule off showing time. I have to send somebody a code. And I have to take the step. So with Broker Bay in November, when all that goes live, whether I have Century or Supra, which I believe that your association has is changing. And I didn't know how to work a super lock. I was standing there trying to wake that thing up, trying to figure out how to get dang key out of it. There was no buttons. And I kept hitting my phone on the side of the box. It didn't work. So I was so excited with Broker Bay because Patrick told me that it would, and I have tested this, that it will send it to your app. And right out of the bottom. Like, it's amazing. So in addition to opening up the boundaries of counties for being able to get in there and see the listing and cooperate with the programs, also trying to break down the barriers and obstacles two that I tried to show in Pitt County. One lady came right over and let me right in. I think I shared I work with friends and family, so they know I'm good. But the other gentleman was like, "No, I'm playing tennis, tough bananas." And I thought, I know that I'm not in your association, but I am in your MLS. And you are not cooperating with me to do what's right by yourself. Now, Mr. Man, that's not nice. But there was really nothing that I could do about it because I could not physically get into the property and he wouldn't come and help me. So that broker bay is the spirit of it is to help us break down those barriers and obstacles, to not have to rely on that listing broker to cooperate with us. Because by being in our MLS, they should. It'll help us do that with or without them because they've set up the listing so that we can get in it. And now we'll have a tool that will allow us access even if they're playing tennis.
The broker bay is, like Angie said, it's a showing service, and the NC Regional MLS is currently onboarding broker bay. Our onboarding date is August 15th. So at that time, you all of your listings, when you put them into Flex, will automatically appear in broker bay, and you'll have a broker bay app on your phone or on the computer where you can go. I'm sorry. Where you can go and, like what Andy's saying here, you can block out times, times, saying how you want to get send instructions or get instructions. So, we've never really had a showing service other than the showing manager that was in Navica. So we're hoping that people will automatically start using it when we onboard with them August 15th, because it really is going to help with the issue of those borders and some people having central lock boxes or access to central lock boxes and other people having access to Supra. We then should have access to everything through broker bay. Broker bay will know which one you have. And if you have the opposite of what is on this property, it's automatically going to send you a code to let you into that, to get you into that property.
Questions?
We also had about, there you go. Oh, well, that's the portal. Whether or not there's a mobile app.
Yes, there is. And this is that app. And again, this will be for future training, but as you go through, set up one of your test contacts with portal access. What we've done, in fact, this was something that we were doing, we were testing out. You recognize this from when we were doing the training on saving and setting up searches. These are just screenshots. And so the question was, do you want your client to see this in an email like we saw in Millionaire, or do you want it to land in the MLS for Home Buyers app? And the way that you get them to that app is to set them up a portal account that they opt into, and they create their own login. And I even made something for myself, a QR code to print out. And you see how that is rated for my account, and they scan it, and it'll take them right to how they get to my portal. I've got on here. For your client, once they opt in and they set their account up, that they log in, and this is what they see. This is the very first thing that they see. That's you branded to them on that app. And then any information that you send to them. And remember, I said cousin that wanted something for nothing. That search shows up. There it is. I did G-rated this time. I did Angie 1, 2, 3. But this is where they can see all of that information from you. And it's a two-way conversation. If your client went in and they favorited that, it would come right back to you in your dashboard, or you would get a notification depending on how you have it set up in your contact management. So I'm very excited about those. And then this is what they would see when they clicked on any of those and be able to do that. I am extremely excited about that. This is what the mobile app looks like for us. I have my hot tea. Got my I've got my safe searches that are here that we set up, access from my phone, from my tablet. Any collections that I may have. Well, and under Stephanie, that's why. That's funny. You can show this for me. I know that FBS, the software provider, is working on updates to this. We told them that it's not quite as robust as we'd like to see it, and our users would like to see a little bit more. And so they are working on it, but you can absolutely use this today. I think my favorite is the quick launch, just like we had on the desktop. It exists right there. It brings up the same type of information. So if you're on the go and you're not sure if they're looking at the actual property or the listing number, you can find that right from the flat. Any other questions?
Quiet group today.
They've been fantastic. I appreciate the time and attention. And I absolutely 100% can tell you enough, Holly, how much I appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate you. We are going to depend on your expertise over the next few weeks.
Won't leave you hanging. I won't leave you. I can't do it. It's not my DNA.
Mm-hmm. So any questions, just give us a call, email, whatever. If I can't answer it, which it's very likely I might not be able to, I'll find out the answer for you. And same thing with our new billing system. Some people are having a little bit of a problem getting their account set up, and I can try to help you with that as well. So if nobody has any questions, make sure you sign up for 102. So Angie will go in more depth into like CMAs and more on the searches and some other good information for you. But go ahead and get into Flex and play around with it and find out what you don't know so you can ask questions the next time.
It's like drinking from a fire hose this first go around. So don't be shy. You're among friends. We're all in the same boat. We're all going to get to the shore, I promise.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We have to. And if you have any problems with logging into Flex, let me know. I've had a couple of emails during the class and I was able to help all of them get in. So, and if you're staff, admin, personal assistant, we will email you later today. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Colleen. I'll see you in about an hour.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.